Welcome to The System Works, the lifestyle channel that shows you a practical way to live, the what's in it for you. The System Works. Own it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to The System Works. I am your host, Ernest Phillips, and I know why you don't have more success. I know why you don't have more success in your relationship. I know why you don't have more success in your career. I know why you don't have more success with your diet, with losing weight. I know why you don't have more success with why you don't have more money, why parenting. I know why. And it's one way, and I can measure it exactly with one way. What are you not willing to give up? All right, here's the tug tip. So we're going to get right out of the gate here. Commitment to one thing always requires the loss of many things. Now, I can tell you, if I had commitment to what I'm doing, to my craft, at the level that I have right now, 10 years ago, you know what would have happened 10 years ago? You would have seen me 10 years ago. I didn't have the commitment. I wasn't willing to give up certain things. There were certain things that were necessary for me to get here that I wasn't willing to give up before. One of them was writing an actual business plan. Okay, if you are an entrepreneur, if you don't have a business plan, the chances of you having success is limited. It is limited. It just is. And I struggled with that. That's not how my brain works. It was tedious, and it would take so long, and then I would just stop. And one of the people on my Business Wise Council, I sat down with them and I said, all right, you're good at business. Do my business plan. And he got to the place where he said to me, you're not ready to run a business. He said, because you don't want to do things that you just don't want to do. And as simple as that sounded, he was correct. But then again, we kind of all fall into that place. You know, at the end of the day, if you don't want to do something, it's hard to get you to do it. You may want the results, you may want the perks, but you don't want to do the works. I know, it's so cheesy, but I have to say it sometimes. Yeah, and that's where I was at. I was not willing to give up what it was going to take. I wasn't committed. Now, if you were to ask me if I was committed, I would say absolutely, and I know this is going to be successful one day. And that's what I believed. And it wasn't until I became committed to this business as a business. And then the phrase happened. I used to run a passion. Now I run a business. And a business requires certain things. A business requires a lot of things that are not fun, that are difficult and necessary. And until I was ready to give up the pain, until I was ready to give up the discomfort, until I was ready to give up the time necessary for me to have to learn what I didn't know, until I was willing to go through the absolute hurt. When I went through a business plan, I'll say sessions with someone, I brought to them my business plan, and I want you to know I was proud of it. They ripped it to shreds. I am not exaggerating when I'm telling you this. It was a Friday afternoon, and I laid on a couch in halfway fetal position till the next morning. I re-questioned everything. It just hurt. Everything that I had down was just wrong. And the very next day, I got up and I said, okay, if I really want this, I have to be willing to give up pride, ego, feelings, what I think. I need to give up all of that if I'm going to get to where I need to be. And I jumped back in and I kept working at it. And then I got done all the things that they had been telling me I needed to do, and boom. And I said, here you go. And they ripped it to shreds again. But this time I said, keep ripping. Forget my feelings. I don't care about my feelings. I want the outcome. And that was the line in the sand. That was the difference maker. And this is the difference maker for you. The number one reason why you probably don't have the success that you want is you are not willing to give up your feelings. How you feel about it, how you might think other people are going to feel about it, fear of judgment. Well, if I try this, I'm going to look stupid. Until you're ready to give up all of that for what you really want, you're not going to have the success that you're going to want. And no one is exempt from this. That's why commitment is so powerful. You are committing to one thing. And you can only have one number one at a time, which means if my number one is this, everything else comes afterwards. I don't even think about a number two. There's a number one, and then there's everything else. And I'm willing to give up everything else for that one. And feelings are a part of that everything else. Now, if you're willing and you make the choice, good for you. The action step is identify when you want a success and you don't have it, identify what are you not giving up that's needed. And then you get to make a choice. You know what? That is actually more important than my goal. And now you flip-flop them. And now guess what? You're going after the one thing that matters most. And that is when we're going to be the happiest, when we're going to be the most fulfilled, when we're going after our number ones. If you're not willing, now you can give yourself grace and say, okay, this is my number one, but right now I'm not willing to give that up. And at least you're being honest with yourself. And now you can find out, okay, until you're willing to give this up for this, it's okay that you don't have it. And you don't have to feel negative or regret or any of that you don't have those successes. What's in it for you? More success. More of the things that you want. More of the things that you need. I've been working at this thing for about 20 years. It's taken me 20 years to get here. The next 20 years are going to be amazing because I'm willing to give up what is necessary to get what matters most. I hope you make that decision too, because you will be happier and better off. Go forth, be good, and forget your feelings. See ya. We hope you enjoyed this episode of The System Works. Have fun with the action steps. Enjoy the Wi-Fis. Click like, click subscribe, and comment. The good and the bad, we like them all. We look forward to seeing you next time. The System Works. Own it.